Hi, I'm Tom Carter. Seated next to me are Tom Wright and Mahr. Tom is the presidential nominee for MSA, and Bo is the vice presidential nominee. Today they'll be talking about their points. Guys.
First off, I guess I'm going to talk about what separates us from the other two slates. There are a few main things. First off, that it's been heavily written in the Maneater and talked about in the previous two debates, and I'm sure it'll be brought up tonight. Presidential pay cuts. Bo and I have pledged if we win, we'll make sure we reduce the pay for ourselves down to $7.50 because that's brought out of students' fees. We feel like we don't need to be paid $9.35, $8.85 an hour. Saves about $3,000. We can reinvest that into other student organizations or places on campus. Going off of that, we're the only candidacy that's actually proposed cuts of any kind. All the slates, no matter who wins, we're all going to have projects that are going to need money. One zoo is going to need more money. Tiger Pantry is being added as auxiliary. So all these things, no matter who wins, there's going to be more money needed. But we operate under a limited budget in MSA with about $30,000 saved at the end for contingency that's reserved. So we're looking at like 1.4 some odd million. But when you're going to increase spending, we're either going to have to raise fees or cut spending. So what we're proposing, which nobody else has proposed, is actual spending cuts. They say it's trivial and too small, but we're taking the first steps. And the final thing that sets us apart are Bo and I are actually now not in MSA. I was a senator for 2 years, but I've been outside of the organization for a year. Bo's never been in MSA, and I feel like that gives us a very different look. We feel like it's the status quo of MSA against students outside of MSA, and we're trying to bring MSA to more students and represent everybody.
Yeah, and I'd like to talk about some of the points that we're trying to make with our campaign. The big three that we're looking at is equality, sustainability, and accountability. To start off with equality, we really want to push diversity weeks. We have things like One Mizzou Week. We have smaller things, but we really want to use MSA's power to bring out all of the other organizations on campus and work with them to try to get more access from the average students to those organizations so that they can learn. And on top of that, we want to look towards sustainability, where I have an intern from Missouri Recycling Association, and I'm involved in a lot of other environmental organizations outside of MSA, and so I think I bring a unique perspective when we talk about trying to increase recycling in residence halls and at places like Tiger Digs and across campus by increasing the amount of recycling bins and increasing awareness. And on top of that, we want to look towards accountability. This is one of the big things that separates us from the other platforms, in that we want to install progress reports so that throughout our administration, people can see exactly what we're doing, and they can check and they can see whether or not we've accomplished something, whether it's in progress or whether we didn't accomplish it, and they can see exactly why. On top of that, we want to work on campaign finance reform to make MSA more accessible to the average student. And the last thing I want to hit on is how we are talking to students. Our campaign is based on getting out there and getting information from students of what they feel like needs to be done. And one of the things that has been brought up to us is parking lot safety, increasing lights and emergency response terminals in parking lots, but also bike share. They feel like bike share can be expanded, and with some of the cuts that Tom alluded to, we can accomplish these goals.